Welcome to everybody. Thank you so much for being here tonight. My name is Nick Martinez. If you don't know me, I live out in Minnesota. I have two little girls, Callie, who's 6, Juliana, who's 4.5. They're literally falling asleep as we speak. It's been a great weekend so far, except it's been raining like crazy here. We were hoping to spend a little time at the lake cabin, but that's not happening. But hey, instead I get to be here with you guys and get to talk ketones, which is one of my favorite things to do. So just 4.5 years ago, I was introduced to this conversation. I used to be a full-time airline pilot. I did not know anything about ketones. I was not doing a ketogenic diet. I just got a call out of the blue from a friend saying, Nick, what do you know about ketones and ketosis? So maybe you just joined us here tonight and a friend of yours called you up and said, hey, you got to hop on this call and learn a little bit more about ketones. If you're like me, then you might not have a clue of why you're here or what you're looking at. But first off, thanks for being here. I know others of you, maybe you've been doing the ketogenic diet for a little bit and you're wondering like, hey, how can I amplify? Or maybe you hit a wall or a plateau and you're thinking, how can I get to the next level? We'll talk a little bit about how ketones can help you do that. And I know others, some of you have been drinking the product for a bit as a customer and you're just kind of exploring this from a business standpoint. Hey, how can I share this with people? How can I create a community? Earn free ketones, earn commissions, and build a business with this. So hopefully in the next 20 minutes, we'll be able to answer most of your questions. You're going to hear some stuff that's just super powerful. You're going to hear from a handful of different ladies who truly have had their lives shifted and changed as a result of this technology and as a result of this community. And I'm excited for you to hear their stories. So before we get into that, what I really want to do real quick is just tell you a little bit about what this is. I know some of you just got a message saying, hey, you got to check this stuff out. It's really, really cool. It's super powerful and it could change your life. And you're like, okay, I'm there. And you're probably like, all right, what the heck is it? Well, if you're not familiar, Ketonat is a drink. It's a powder that you mix with ice and water. You put it in a bottle, a shaker bottle, a water bottle, whatever the heck you want, shake it up and drink it. And after drinking it, your body is in what we call a therapeutic state of ketosis. And essentially what that means is you have ketones for fuel. And you're going to hear in a minute really what starts to happen. But just think about this. Ketones are an amazing fuel source. They're one of your body's 2 fuel sources. You can use carbs and sugar, which is glucose, or you can use ketones, which come when you metabolize fat. And with this product, we have a way to get you into ketosis immediately, right away. And as a result, it doesn't necessarily matter if you're perfect on a ketogenic diet. It doesn't necessarily matter if you're in a fasted state. You can feel amazing and you can operate at your highest potential whenever you want simply by drinking a product. So before I go any further, I will definitely take some questions here as we get into the call and kind of hopefully answer anything that you want to know about ketones. But before I do, I'd love to hear just a few success stories from some people that have been drinking this a little bit longer probably than you. And that I've seen amazing things start to unfold in their life. So Hillary, I think I have you down to go first. I would love for you to come off mute. Just share with us a little bit about yourself, your background, and what ketones have done for you.
I would love to. Hi, everyone. My name is Hillary. I live in Northeast Pennsylvania with my fiance, his 11-year-old daughter, who's turning 11 on Monday, and our 3-year-old son. I am 40 and he is 3, so I stay at home with him. I started staying home with him around 1. That's when he decided he was no longer going to take naps or use a stroller. So let's just say I was an exhausted mama to the extreme. This kid goes from the minute he wakes up to the minute he goes to bed, and I couldn't get through my days without counting the minutes to bedtime. I was just so exhausted before finding ketones that I wasn't really sure what I was going to do. Coffee did nothing. So I was scrolling Facebook one day, and a good friend of mine, or a friend of mine that I had lost touch with, was putting up some posts. So I reached out to her. I met up with her, and halfway through my first drink of ketones, I literally lit up like a Christmas tree. I remember right where I was standing, and I said to her, holy crap, I feel like I could run a marathon and clean my house 2 times over. What is this? I need it in my life. And 3 days later, I signed up to sell. I had no idea what ketosis was. I had no idea what ketones were. I just knew how I felt, and I knew that I needed to get this in my friends and family's bodies because it was going to change more lives than just mine, and I couldn't keep that to myself. So it's been a little over 1.5 years, and since drinking ketones, I have been able to completely enjoy my days. The minute I drink my ketones in the morning, I don't look at the clock. I'm able to like cherish the moments with my son that I have and my family, and I am not exhausted. I don't even think I yawn anymore. Ketones are so amazing. My fiance was a bit skeptical in the beginning, and I made his ketones every morning for him. And now if he leaves the driveway for work in the morning, does not have them, he will turn around and come back and actually put extra ones in his pocket, like I don't notice. Our whole family drinks them. My 3-year-old absolutely loves them. He drinks them every day with me. So I look forward to sharing this with more people, and I look forward to just enjoying all my days with my family without that exhaustion, because it was so overwhelming. So I just look forward to hearing the other stories tonight.
That's awesome. Thank you for
Yeah.
sharing. I mean, we call this happy mommy juice around our house because it truly creates happy mommies. And
it sure does.
My wife included. It shifts the energy around here for sure. Fallon, I see your face. What's happening? How's it going? I love that blue room you're in.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about what ketones have done for you.
My name's Fallon, and I've been drinking ketones since February. I'm from Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. For the last 4 years, I've been a rather healthy eater, and I like to work out. The last year, I switched to just low carb. After baby number 4, I held on to some extra weight that I couldn't get rid of. I had no energy from all the kids. I have 4 kids. I don't know if I said that. Their ages they're going to be 2 in July. The one boy, I have all boys. The other is 4. And then I have a 9-year-old and a 10-year-old. So they keep me very busy and very stressed out. I used to sleep horrible. My main focus was, though, to get rid of the weight that I held on to after baby number 4. I tried many different companies. Nothing worked. Either it didn't work or the products tasted horrible. Somehow along the way of searching for a company to help me get over this plateau, I came across ketones, and I found Hillary on Facebook. I don't even know how I found her, but I found her, and I sent her a friend's request, and she shot me over a message, and we got to talking about ketones, and she offered me a 10-day trial. And I'm like, well, this price is actually pretty good. I've spent more money on different companies, and there's so many different flavors, and they all sound amazing, but it's probably going to taste horrible. But I gave it a try, and I was one of the lucky people, because after day 1, I noticed my energy was through the roof. I was downstairs. I had a painting job I was doing downstairs in the basement, and I hate to paint. I would always take breaks, and I had better focus. I powered through it. I got it done. She asked me the second day, she goes, so how did you sleep? I said, oh, I slept really good. It didn't even hit me till she asked me. So I had better sleep. After day 3, I knew it wasn't even about the weight loss anymore. Like, this product was amazing, and I knew I was going to continue drinking it. Since February, I've now lost 11 pounds, and I lost 4 inches, and I no longer crave sweets. I no longer snack all day long. I have better control over what I eat. My husband is now drinking it. He started 2 weeks ago, and he's just a more happier person. I have to say this. A week in, I asked him if he was drunk. I said, have you been drinking? Are you drunk? And he goes, no, I haven't had anything to drink. I said, well, you're just not yourself. And then it was the second day after that, I said, have you been drinking today? I'm like, you just seem different. And he goes, no, Fallon, I did not have anything to drink. So he walked away, and I'm like, oh my God, it's the ketones. So I ran to him and I said, Sean, it's the ketones. You're a happier person because of the ketones. And he goes, you know what? He is one person that has terrible road rage. He said, you know what? I had somebody cut me off the other day coming home from work, and I didn't even react. He goes, it must be the ketones, because I do seem like a happier person. So we're happier people. We're better parents to our kids. Even he eats different, and I've been with him since 2005, and he would never change how he eats. He is now eating cheeseburgers with no bun. He is now cutting out potatoes and rice. He just completely did like a 180. He is completely different in how he eats. So I look forward to my ketones every day, and I love them.
That's awesome. That's crazy. No more road rage. Happier
No more
husband.
road rage.
Well, that's fantastic. Thanks so much for sharing, Fallon. I can't imagine having 4 boys. 2 girls is plenty for me to handle. So that's you definitely need ketones. Drink them, drink them, drink them. I see Deborah smiling back at me. What's happening, Deborah? How's it going? I had a chance to have a great conversation with Deborah a few months back, and her story just inspired me. But Deborah, maybe share with us a little bit about what ketones have done for you.
Okay. Hi, my name is Deborah. I am from Buxton, Maine, and I have been drinking ketones since October. And my story is that I was always a very active person, very helpful, always in the beauty industry. And about 4.5 years ago, we had a tragedy and I lost my daughter. And I looked good on the outside, but on the inside, I basically had no more passion for life. And that went on for 4 years until last October. Actually, I ran into Ashley in February on Facebook somewhere, and she tried to get me to try it. I did 5 days. I was going away. I wasn't paying attention. And then it went on. And every month she'd ask, are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Finally, in October of last year, I started drinking ketones. And it has changed my life completely as far as the passion that I have for life now again, and the passion that I have for helping people again. And not only am I drinking it, my husband, who is Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, is no longer Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, and does not go a day without ketones. Leaves every morning with 2 in his lunchbox and his water bottle. It's just been amazing. And I'm a sugarholic. Not anymore, unless I really get weak for the moment. But I no longer fall off the wagon and keep on going and just eating junk for days because of the ketones. I can't say enough good things about it. I was on it for, within 2 weeks, I started selling. So I've been sharing the ketone story and the conversation with people since October. And I don't have a lot of promoters under me yet, but I do still have a lot of faithful people that are still drinking it and are still on SmartShip. So I truly, I've never found anything like this product in my life. And I've done a lot of different products. So it's been absolutely amazing.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Deborah, for sharing. That's fantastic. It's so cool just to see the wide variety of things that ketones do. I mean, you've heard energy, you've heard fat loss, you've heard mood, you've heard sleep. The list just goes on and on and on. It's one of those things where you hear it so much, you're like, it sounds too good to be true. Well, you hear stories like this, you're like, oh, you know what? I guess it's not too good to be true. We're just all normal people. I mean, I'm a weird dude wearing this like super blue hat with an orange stripe. I realized when I put this shirt on, it has like the same back as the hat. People in my neighborhood are like, is he the opposite of the UPS guy wearing brown or something? But hey, whatever works. I want to hear one more story. I see a whole bunch of smiling faces on me or looking at me here. Shay, what's up? Would love to hear your story and what ketones have done for you. You gotta unmute yourself first, though.
Unmute.
There we go.
Ta-da! Senior blonde moment. Hang on, let me drink some more ketones real quick. Make me smart. Ta-da! Now I'm smart. Glasses and all. Okay, so my story, I go back and you know how you go back and you say, gosh, why didn't I listen to that person? So I became really ill back in 2011 and no one knew what was wrong with me after a car accident. And I kept seeing Melissa post things, Melissa Butler, about ketones and ketones. I was like, that's just more garbage. I've tried anything and everything. Nothing worked. I'd gained 100 pounds from some medication. And I thought, here I am. At that time, I was 52. I'm going to be 54 next month. I'm like, I am a grown woman. I have 2 grown kids, 3 grandbabies. We don't use the G word. They call me Jamma or they call me Glamma. Now they just call me the ketosis, ketones queen because they're like all into it. They're like, Jamma, do you think we could have some of that strawberry keto up? And I'm like, no, honey, I'm not sharing. That's okay. No, I'm not. So my biggest fight with myself is I bought a 10-day trial from Melissa Y'all, I waited 3 months before I opened a packet, put it in water, and drank it. And Melissa just kept, contacting me every now and then. And I was like, she went to high school with my daughter. Her and my daughter are best friends. So I was like, well, I might trust her, but you know what? I don't know. So then after I tried it, the second day, I was like, who's playing tricks on me? Like, I'm focused. I'm ADHD as it is. I'm focused and I feel better. I'm not so moody and grumpy all the time. And the biggest thing that ketones has done for me, I'm gonna start crying. I was so addicted to sugar. It was ridiculous. I'm not joking. I would eat 4 to 5 bags of candy a day, and I never wanted to confess that to anybody. I was a secret eater. I would hide. I would go to the store and buy the candy when no one was looking, and I would conceal it, and I would hide it in my drawers, and every day, 4 to 5 bags of candy. I've been drinking ketones since June of 2018. By the 3rd week, I didn't want anything. I started to crave spinach. I started to crave healthy foods. I didn't really know I was so dumb in high school. I didn't know what ketones were, or much less what ketosis was. And then Melissa just took the time to explain it to me. She's like, watch these videos. I swear, hop on these calls. My first call I remember was with Michael Rutherford, and he was talking about, shaking it up and drinking this drink. And I'm like, how can that be true? Doctors couldn't even fix me. How can I get rid of this, addiction? It was like being a drug addict. So needless to say, since June of 2018, I may be about to be in my mid 50s, but I feel like I'm in my 30s, and I was doing 5Ks, which is something I never thought I would want to do. My next goal I want to do is the Muddy Princess, and I want to do a Spartan. I don't know if I'll be able to do that, but my mind will sometimes play tricks with me and be like, ooh, girl, you want those Girl Scout cookies when they come out, don't you? And then ketones are saying, no, you don't. I did all this work for you. I make you feel better. I make you crave good foods. I make you not want the sugar. And I have so many women that are in the same predicament that I was health-wise, which I'm not a doctor or making medical claims, but when you've got that all over not feeling well and the doctors think you're crazy, this drink right here is going to prove to you that you're not crazy and you're going to feel so much better. So weight loss, 89 pounds. I mean, that was just a bonus. It was just me breaking that sugar habit. That's the big thing for me. Because it was a huge addiction. So I don't have to secretly eat or hide food from anybody anymore. I'm the one that's like, oh, you want enchiladas? I have a keto recipe for you. I have some that doesn't have carbs. There's no sugar. So whatever you want, I can make it for you. And then I joined like 3 weeks after. So I just want to help as many people as I can, and being able to watch everyone's journey, that makes me cry. Like Jamie Hill, Stephanie, Cash, I can't say enough good stuff about it. Sometimes I cry at my own success and I cry with everybody else's. So I can't believe that I would have never known in high school, watching my daughter and Melissa Butler cheer on a football field, sitting next to Susan Parks at a football game, that I would be here 15 years later and we're all in the same family with the same faith, working towards the same goal. And that's to change one single person in the world every single day.
Wow. I love it. I love it. Well, thank you so much for sharing, Shay. Appreciate you sharing your heart with us, and congratulations on just your journey. I mean, it's so powerful to watch what ketones do for people and the impact that they have. So thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So I mean, the story, we could go all night if you guys didn't have anything else to do tonight, which maybe some of you don't. There's not a lot going on these days. But literally we could go through every person that's been drinking this product for more than a few days, or even some people that have just been drinking it for 2 or 3 days, and hear their stories, and they're just so powerful and so inspirational. So if you haven't, I know there's a lot of you that probably would love to share your story and haven't. If you'd love to chat, type in the chat just 2 of your favorite benefits from the product. And then just for fun, if you've lost any fat from the product, put how many pounds you've lost, because that's kind of always neat to see. Share that. I mean, 89 pounds is no joke. And we talk a lot about how ketones are not a weight loss product. This promotes a better, healthy lifestyle, and it promotes a healthier version of you. And when you get into that place, guess what happens? Your body sheds fat. Your body releases a lot of extra stuff that it's holding on to. And as a result, over time, you'll start to see the scale move. But we really focus on fat loss, not weight loss, because what we want you to do is become a leaner, stronger, nicer version of yourself, not just a lighter version of yourself. Generally, lighter just means less dense. And you could be a very light, fluffy person, but I think you'd rather be a really dense, lean, tone individual. And the scale doesn't really tell the whole picture when it comes to that. So Heather lost 25 pounds, energy and focus, all your baby weight. Sarah Green, 140 pounds, holy moly. 89 pounds, 35 pounds, 48, like so much fun. So much fun. So if you're watching this and you're new to this conversation, the next step is for you just to get a box of ketones. We have an awesome special going on right now because it is Memorial Day weekend. All of our ketones are 22% off. Which is super, super powerful. So you can grab whatever flavor you want. We actually have a Drink Ketones Challenge kit, which comes with a variety. This is like our variety pack. And this is also at a discount. If you're a brand new customer, this is only 99 bucks. So it's a great option. Or ask the friend that invited you to this, hey, what's your favorite flavor? What flavor should I drink? And we have a lot of different ones to choose from. In fact, in the comments, if you've already experienced ketones for a little bit, type what your favorite flavor is. Our best seller is raspberry lemonade and heart tart. Heart tart's my wife's favorite. This one's like Sweet Tarts and Smartie. Raspberry lemonade tastes just like it sounds. Lime Time is probably our third best seller. It tastes like limeade. It's a very mild limeade. We also have one called Swiss Cacao. If you're a chocolate person, this is really good with almond milk or heavy cream. We have a Maui Punch, which is like a fruit punch, and one called Splash, which is like a grapefruit watermelon. So be sure to check out those flavors. Maybe grab a box or two of them because they are on a sale. And you'll see as you go to checkout, there's this thing called Smart Chip, or there's a monthly option. You're going to want to opt into that because that will actually give you a sale for your next month's order, and it will opt you into some of our VIP benefits. We have special flavors that release every month or so. We just had a new one called Strawberry Peach, which was amazing. We had another one called Blueberry Acai, and they're only available to Smart Chip customers. And they sell out very, very quick because right now there's just this crazy demand going on. We also have the ability, sometimes there's blitz sales and special sales that are for Smart Chip customers only. So definitely check that out. And every 3 Smart Chips that run, you can actually earn an additional box, an extra box, kind of the mystery flavor of your month that will ship on that 4th order. So that's super powerful. And if you ever want to get your ketones for free, I was talking to somebody today, they're like, well, what if I really like it? I want to drink tons of it. I don't know if I can afford that. I'm like, well, can you afford free? She's like, sure. Like, all you got to do is introduce 2 friends and you can start getting your ketones for free. I'm like, if your mom wants to feel better and your brother wants to feel better, shoot them over your referral link. You can get credit for them. As long as they're ordering on a monthly like you can start getting your box for free. Drank your last Strawberry Peach today, Janet. Oh no, True Passion's coming. That one's really, really good. So if you guys have questions about ketones, go ahead and type them in the comments. If you have specific questions, I'll try to answer those real quick before we kind of talk a little bit about the Dollar Keto Club. I know we had a lot of questions about that prior to this Zoom, and it's been an amazing promotion that we've had over the last 6 weeks. But at the end of the day, all of the stories that you heard are made possible because ketones are a native fuel source to the body. So think about this. When you were born, you were designed like a hybrid car to run on 2 fuel sources, two sources, ketones and glucose. But for most of your life, at least since you were no longer breastfed, you have not been running on ketones. You've only been running on glucose. So it'd be like you bought a Prius, and for the first year you had that, really like the first month you had that Prius, you could run on gas and electric and you got great gas mileage. And then all of a sudden something shifted. You never got to tap into that electrical fuel source again, right? For the rest of the life of that Prius, you'd probably be running not very good gas mileage. The car just wouldn't work quite as well. That's kind of how our bodies are. Our bodies are meant to be in a state of ketosis. We were meant to go without food, with food, without food, in and out of ketosis. We were not meant to eat tons of carbs and sugar. We were meant to eat much more low carb. It's just how we were designed, right? Until we started screwing it up with all these amazing foods that we get to have at our fingertips every minute of the day. So now in walks Keto Nat. What does this do? This is a fuel for the body. It gives your body ketones. This is like you bought this Prius 10 years ago. Like that's pretty old for a car these days. Call it 12 years ago. And for 11.75 or almost like the entire life of that car, it's only used the gas fuel tank. All of a sudden you start putting this in your body and you're running on both. What would happen to that Prius if you turn those batteries on immediately? They hadn't been used for 11 years. That Prius would be like, oh my gosh, I'm getting 60 miles a gallon. I can go forever. I have all this energy. That's what happens when people put ketones into their body. That's why you're hearing the stories that you're hearing, is because your brain loves ketones. Your muscles love ketones. Ketones don't require insulin to get into the cell. They carry more oxygen to your cells, and they're really, really powerful. So we could go on all night about the science behind this. I tend to dork out a little bit on it. But if you want to learn more about that kind of stuff, we actually have an app called Pruvit TV. You want to download that on your iPhone or your Google phone and check it out, right? If you're somebody that loves that kind of stuff, you can binge watch that tonight instead of Netflix, and you'll learn so much that'll just blow your mind about why. But at the end of the day, what you need to do is just test it yourself, right? You need to do what all of these ladies you heard from did. Just basically shake it up, start drinking it, and see what starts to unfold for you. So really the next step is to make a choice. We have a couple different options to get started. One is just as a customer, like I mentioned, take to the sale or grabbing our 10-day Drink Ketones challenge. The second is to join us with the Dollar Keto Club promotion we have going on. And people are like, what's that? What's the Dollar Keto Club? Well, the Dollar Keto Club is really cool. It's a fun kind of, we call it a relief pack that we just launched at the beginning of all this quarantine craziness. And it's designed to give you a bunch of ketones to get started with at a very low price, and to give you an easy entry to start sharing this with your friends as a promoter. So essentially you can buy a bundle pack. We have 2 different packs. We have a starter pack, which has 3 boxes. We have an MVP pack, which has 12 boxes of ketones, and you get 40% off of those. So instead of 22% off, it's 40% off, which is awesome. And with those, you have the ability to get our promoter membership for just $1. Normally it's like $37. We're discounting at $36. So that's why it's called the Dollar Keto Club. For $1, you have the ability to truly impact people, to create change, and to build a business as big or as little as you want, right? This is a conversation that you can have with tons of people. It's a conversation right now that your neighbor needs, your mom needs, your sister, people that you know on Facebook. Everybody in the world right now is looking for something to help them get back on track, looking for something to help them feel better. And it's truly, truly powerful. So what's interesting is most people, and myself included, when I got a call from a friend, I was not looking to start a keto business. Now look at me. But because I got excited about this technology, I got excited about the energy I was feeling. I got excited about how my mom loved this product and how my dad was changing on it, and started to share it with others. Because of that, I realized, hey, I should share this with a few more. And because that started to happen, it turned into this amazing business where people were loving ketones and talking about it. And before I knew it, it allowed me to kind of walk away from being a full-time airline pilot to being a full-time dad and a full-time husband. So here we are 4.5 years later, and this is what we get to do on a daily basis. And we're just helping people like you kind of do the same thing. So I have one other friend on here that I really want you guys to hear from. She's super amazing, and coming in from Boise. She's a mom of a adorable little girl, Indy, who's just turned 1 shortly ago. And Sarah, I'd love for you just to share a little bit about how this community and how our business has impacted you.
Sure, I would love to. So before Pruvit, I was so unbelievably busy with my life, and I was so unfulfilled. I was a 7th grade math teacher. I live in Boise, Idaho. Teachers don't make any money in Boise, Idaho. So I was in charge of everything. I was coaching 2 sports after school. I was waitressing on Sundays. I was catering weddings on Saturdays. Like, I was so busy, and nothing brought me fulfillment. I was literally trading my time for money. My husband, he was in like a sales commission job, so he always worked nights and weekends. We would seriously see each other in passing. Like, my husband's my best friend, and I never got to see him. Like, it almost makes me tear up. Come on, Sarah, you just started. So it was time for a change. And my husband said, like, Sarah, like, you're not fulfilled, you're not happy, like, do something different. And the crazy thing is that I left my job back in 2016, and ketones just fell into my hands 30 days later. And it was mind blowing. I didn't have an aha experience off of one packet of ketones. I was looking for the opportunity to change people's lives at a really, really high level beyond like what I was doing, like at the school I was at. Like you can only teach so many days before you just realize, like, I guess it was years, that you're not going to make the impact that you want to make. But with Pruvit, holy moly, like it's been 4 years now. And what I love about ketones for my story is that people saw it in me before I saw it in myself. My husband was like, Sarah, what are you doing? You're so happy. Your mood is so different. What are you doing? And I'm like, well, I'm drinking this powder. Like, I wonder if this is it. My bar instructor, and I'm not one to hit the gym at all whatsoever. I literally would just go to socialize. And she was like, Sarah, what are you doing? Your body has completely transformed. I went home, I weighed myself. I was 5 pounds lighter, threw the scale out back in 2016. Haven't weighed myself since. I go off of how I feel and how my clothes fit. And I've never felt so great in my life. We started sharing at a really, really high level because I thought, man, if I'm showing up as the best version of myself right now because other people are seeing that in me, like, whose life can I change? Because a stranger handed me their business card, and that's how I got started. So I'm like, gosh, I'm going to tell like everybody that I care about, and I'm going to tell all these strangers. So we started sharing at a really high level. I was able to bring my husband home after about 10 months, and we were able to just travel the world and share ketones. And I'll tell you something, like when you go to sleep at night and you just have this abundance of gratitude and fulfillment and happiness that just takes over you, it's a completely different world. Like I wake up and I'm so excited to start my day, but it's because my energy is completely different. We have a 1-year-old baby girl, like Nick said, and I drank ketones my entire pregnancy. Of course, you have to get them approved by your doctor. But I took him into my doctor and he said, Sarah, you're one of the healthiest women that's ever walked through my door. Keep drinking your ketones. I never got sick my whole pregnancy, and I never took a nap, and I never had an ounce of caffeine. And I keep thinking to myself, man, how many women can I inspire that I can help to like feel better? Because when we're pregnant, like we crave all sorts of weird things, and then our energy is just fueled off of that. My daughter just turned 1. I'm still nursing. I drink my ketones every single day. And it's such a blessing that my husband and I, like, we get to live out our purpose. We get to help others. We get to inspire others. And we get to stay home with our baby girl. She's learning how to walk right now. Like, we don't miss a moment, and we're here together. And we never had that in our life. Like, all we wanted was time. Like, it's awesome that we make an income off of this, but really what we treasure is like the time, the fulfillment, the happiness that we get from sharing ketones. So I am just so happy that that one day that stranger shared ketones with me. And for that reason, I share ketones with everybody that I encounter. Like I'm not fearful to share it because my faith and belief in our product, our community, like what we have going here, everyone is searching for this right now. And they're very open to bettering their health and even starting an at-home business. So it's an amazing journey. I don't know if I went too long, but thank you, Nick, for letting me share.
Hey, not at all, not at all. Thank you so much for sharing. And it's amazing just to watch kind of the path that people go through with this. We have a lot of people that just get introduced randomly, right? Sarah literally got a business card from a random stranger. I got a call out of the good friend of mine, but completely out of left field. So maybe you've been stalking one of your friends on Facebook and they finally invited you to take a look at this. Or maybe you got one of those out of the blue phone calls today. At this point, hopefully you've seen enough that you're thinking, okay, I want to at least give it a shot. Message the person that invited you to this call. Say, hey, give me your link. I want to become a customer, or I want to order the 10-day Drink Ketones challenge. Or if what you've seen has inspired you a little bit and you're like, I've got to share this with at least a couple of people, join us with the Dollar Keto Club. Message your friend and just say, hey, I want to join the Dollar Keto Club. How do I do it? They'll send you the link to get started. They'll hold your hand and walk you through it. And it literally is as simple as you just reaching out to a couple of people and saying, hey, I found something I think you're going to love. You've got to check this out. and even putting a little post up on Facebook. OMG, just bought this stuff. No idea if it's going to work, but from what I hear, people are experiencing amazing energy. They're dropping a lot of fat and they feel great. Can't wait for this new journey. I guarantee if you put up a post like that, people are going to be like, what is it? What is it? I want to try it too. I want to go on that journey. It was funny. I was messaging with a new promoter today, and she's like, yeah, I think next week I'll start posting because I probably will have lost a bunch of weight by then. And she was thinking like at the end of May or at the beginning of June. I said to her, you know, what if instead we inspire people through your action, through your journey, through what you're doing? She's like, huh? I'm like, because I bet if you just tell people why you're excited about this and what you're excited about possibly happening, they're going to be excited to try it with you. They're just looking for something. They don't need you to show off your fancy before and after pictures. They just need some inspiration to go out and do something themselves. Because at the end of the day, everybody has a different path and a different journey, right? You heard all of the different benefits on here today. It isn't about one thing. It isn't about the scale. It is about how you can help somebody feel, the control that you can give them back in their life, and the smile that you can help put back on their face. So thanks so much for being here tonight. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of the weekend. Appreciate each and every one of you and hope to see you guys soon. Bye-bye.